Kindness. Very general term, right? We have been hearing since our childhood. But do we really understand what kindness means? Because if we try to understand kindness with literal meaning, so as per Merriam-Webster dictionary, kindness means the state of being kind. So what is the state of being kind? If we try to break this, the state of being kind, so it means that if we show some positive intentions for others, if we show our sympathy for other, if we show our empathy for other, if we feel good for other, or if you want something good for other, so it's called our kindness, our feeling, which is our intention, right? So if you try to understand, so kindness is not just a very new term. Even majority of the religion, I shall say, they have kindness as their main pillar, right? So majority of the religion, as they are preaching kindness, so definitely there has to be some scientific research also on that, right? So this scientific research they did on kindness, so they gave kindness as a emotion or a value which has a boomerang effect. So what is boomerang effect actually? Boomerang effect means if you do something, so that comes back to you. So kindness, as per scientific research, kindness has a boomerang effect. When you do something good for other, so it comes back to you. So that's how the kindness works, right? But still there is a basic curiosity to know really what is kindness, because as per literal understanding, as per literal meaning, if you'll go, so it's a very general thing to understand. As I said, it's like the state of being kind. So what is the state of being kind, or how kindness really works, how we can really understand kindness? So when we try to understand kindness, so in general understanding, we can take it as our action, any action which is met out by our positive intentions, right? I'm not talking about any intention. I'm talking about just positive intentions. If some work is done with our positive intention, so it is called a kind work or kind deed. Well, when we are talking about this kind of work, so it has to do nothing with any negative emotion or negative feeling for others. If we are showing only positive work or positive effect, so that positive action which is met out by our positive intentions is only kindness. And but kindness does not mean that anything, it does not have to do anything with the result or the consequence, because our intentions were good, we wanted to do some good deed for someone, but that did not come out as a good result, or the consequence did not match as per our expectation. So still that work or the deed is called kindness, that is called a kind deed, because it does not matter that the consequence or the result of that particular action, what we, because we expected something good, right? Because we had good intention to do. So if that result is not achieved, if the result we could not achieve due to some reason probably, but still that work would be kind work. Kindness, which is one of the most underrated value in our society today. Well, when we are talking about kindness, so it has to be the basic root of humanity, a basic root of our human values. Because when someone is suffering through something and someone is going through tough time, hard time, so that time to show sympathy, empathy, or we can say compassion toward a particular person is called humanity in general. Because when we think this kindness of full spectrum, so it is like a very divine thing, right? It is not just a basic action or basic value, it is a divine value, I shall say. Because when we are showing goodness, or when we expect something good for someone while they are suffering, so there is nothing better than that. Our action which is guided by our intentions, which were positive intentions, but still this positive intention also can be biased sometimes, right? For example, nowadays you take, if you are fighting for some cause, for example, you are fighting for feminism, you are fighting for gender equality, you are fighting for some right of a particular group or a particular organization. So then in this kind of situation, because our intentions are good, we want to do good for the particular cause or the particular group, but still we cannot say as per our general understanding that as kind of work or the kind deed, because it is partial deed. When we are talking about this partial act or the partial expectations, so it has to be like we cannot count this in general kindness, because there is some opposition in this, right? Because if you are showing kindness or compassion towards someone, so at the same place we expect that with some word can say we are standing against the other human or the other person. So in general, there are people who tend to compare kindness with niceness. Well, when we are talking about kindness or niceness, these both are totally different terms. Actually, I shall say they are not linked actually. There is a huge difference between these two things. Because our kindness is a value which can be shown just by a strong person, a person with ability. Because you can show kindness then only when you are in upper position to give something. Like when you have ability to stand for some cause. But when we are talking about niceness we cannot call niceness as a quality of something called a strong quality, because a niceness, when we show, so niceness is a quality of a weak person, a weak personality we can say. So when we can become nice for other when we are weak, right? Because there is no need to show niceness, or there is no requirement of showing niceness when we are at upper ground or when we are like at higher position. It has to be a quality of like weak persons. So some weakness, due to some our weakness, due to our inability, if we are showing niceness or we are being nice to others, so that is called a niceness. But kindness when we are comparing about, so kindness is a value which has to be the quality of a strong person. Because when we want to do some kind of work for others, so it is about giving, it's not about taking. Because in kindness you do not expect anything in return. It has to be like you are offering from your side, and when you are offering from your side, you have to be at upper ground. You have to be a person with a strong will, a person with a strong ability. In today's society, when we see, so there is a lot suffering among mass, right? Though pupils are suffering a lot, there are many persons who are in misery, there are many persons who are going through pain. So when we see these all sort of persons, this society in general, this society which is in that kind of misery, so we feel very bad about, right? We want to do something for them. So when we want to do something for them, so that is only called our kindness, because our intentions are that. Or when our intentions lead to our action, that is called the kind act. But as I said, it is the kindness is a very underrated value in our society. There are some persons who either don't talk about kindness or neither they understand about kindness, and but there are very handful of persons who really feel kind, or who really show their kindness. So when we are talking about this value, which is very important value, which is very required value, which I as I already said, it is like base value of our humanity. So it has to be taught. So how do we teach kindness? Well, when we try to understand the root of kindness, so kindness root take place with our origin or our upbringing. So as a person who is brought up by a sort of parents who had kind intentions, who were very kind by their normal behavior, so that somehow influenced the growing or upbringing of this child, this particular child, right? When the particular child grow up, so it grow up with the value or the quality of the kindness. So as we know, kindness is a very important value, and when this value is this important to our humanity, so people want to teach this, right? Because after all, we want to spread this kindness, then only it's possible to bring this society out of misery, right? It is very important value. So how do we teach kindness? If you try to go in the root of kindness, the origin of kindness, it is like with our upbringing. As a child, when we grow up, so kindness also become part of our personality. And when we are talking about, so because what kind of parents, what kind of guardians help us or nurture us, so this our their nurture influence us. Because whatever was their thought process, their deed, if they were kind person, so they will nurture us into a kind person, right? And kindness on other side, it's due to our nature as well. When we are naturally, because there are two factors which affect in a person's growth or a person's quality or a value. If a person is kind, so the person can be due to two reasons. As first, the nurture, as I said, or the second is the nature of the particular person. Because there are the person, as I said, there are different persons who have different personalities. Like there are personality type which are divided like introvert, extrovert, ambivert. So when we talk about this particular personalities, so they are somewhere part, they are like quality which are developed by these two factors, like nurture or their nature. So kindness is due to these two factors. It's due to the nurture, or the second, it's due to the personal nature as well, right? So, but as I said, this is the quality which is taught by our guardians, our parents as well. So when something we teach, something we are trying to impart on others, so that's in general, that becomes a part of knowledge, right? And all sort of knowledge, whatever they are, they can be taught. Well, it does not matter if you did not become kind, or we did not get a person who is kind due to upbringing, but still this is a knowledge, this is a value which can be taught, right? So it shall be the quality, I shall say, all of the person who have that compassionate heart, who show kindness, or who feel kind toward from inside. So they shall have, like, it's their duty to teach this kind act to other. And as I said, so you more you kindness you spread, the more you get, because after all, due to the boomerang effect, as I said, right? So kindness, which is very underrated, to teach this kindness has to be the responsibility of the all kind of people, whoever are, right? Because after all are human. Every human has feeling from inside. Just we have to enlighten that feeling. If we kindle that little feeling inside, so after that, that's like a value, or once our value is kindled, that takes growth inside, right? So like this, we can make this society a very beautiful society in future. So as we are discussing about this kindness, or we are trying to understand this kindness, I shall say this much only, that whatever, if we are kind, so that's very good for us. And if we are not, but still there is a hope to learn kindness, right? And once we are learning kindness, once we will become kind, so we have to spread this kindness, because this society, as I said, society is suffering through a lot of problems. There is because after all, life, whoever took birth on this earth has equal right? Because, but when we see in general, there is not equality in society in general. When there are persons who are suffering through a lot of misery, a lot of problems, but on the other side, there are the persons who are living very comfortable life. Well, I'm not saying, I'm neither I feel jealous, or neither I feel very bad about these persons who are living very comfortable life, but it has to be responsibility of these person to show kindness toward these person as well, who are suffering, who are downtrodden, right? Because after all, we are human. If we think about these other persons, so that gives us a self satisfaction, a satisfaction about our life, a satisfaction about our what you can say, existence, right? So when we are trying to understand these all sort of things, and the kindness, which is very important value, so we have to spread kindness, we have to show kindness wherever it is possible. So if you like these kind of topics, right, where we talk about our life, our human psychology, the way how this world is, so this channel is all about this. So you can do one thing, you subscribe this channel, and there would be one bell icon about to that. You can click that, and whenever we post any new video about any things about general understanding, so you will get instant notification for that. And with this, if you subscribe this channel now, so thank you for that. If you did not subscribe, probably due to some reason, I will hope that you at least put comment section, use comment section, and put some comment what's the reason that you could not subscribe, or you did not subscribe this channel. And over there, that would be a great help for me to move forward. And the next time, whenever it is, so I will try to satisfy the way how you feel, or the way I will, at least at that time, I will make you little happy about the video or the particular topic, right? So by then, please take care.